Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. A very warm welcome to all of you who are watching us and joining this live feed later on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you so much. In today's session, I have a very special, vibrant young lady with me, all the way from Nigeria. I'm very thankful to her that she took out time from a very busy schedule that she is having, and she accepted my request to join this particular session on Talk Shop by Faiza Tasneem. Um, how to introduce her? This is a very interesting question, and I've been thinking about it since morning. How to introduce for me? This vibrant young girl is my friend, and she has worn many hats up till now. Uh, More she's going to tell you herself, but she has been traveling. She has done a master's from Birmingham City University, UK, another one from USA, and then she's nowadays on a sabbatical from a PhD uh, that she's going to talk about in a while. Her expertise are in data analysis, volunteer work, policy making, and the the amazing thing about her is that she has taken time out to actually do something for the people in Nigeria. And she's the founder of an NGO with the name of the Imani Help Foundation, Helping Foundation, which she's running in Nigeria with the help of a team that she's going to talk about. So very warm welcome, Womiye from Nigeria, and welcome from Pakistan.
Assalamu alaikum, thank you.
This is a nice touch. This is great. Uh, Womiye,
I was wondering,
oh, yeah,
like,
thank you. Now, it's an absolute pleasure to be doing this session with you. Womiye, tell us about a little bit about your childhood.
I'm from a diplomat family. My father is a retired diplomat for the Nigerian Civil Service. So we did a lot of moving around, and I think that exposed me at an early age to different cultures and just being able to easily adapt to different countries and different places with different people. So we did like a lot of moving around, and my childhood was fun. It was fun. It did have its scars, which I will talk about later. But from the outside, it was enjoyable. I certainly had the privilege of meeting a lot of people from other diplomatic families, and my father always took me along his handbag to different places at his office, and but I think I got exposed to his line of work of civil service and that line of foreign policy and diplomacy, and that exposure kind of shaped who I am today.
Oh, this is nice. So, were you a naughty child or a sober child?
I was the assertive one. Like, I knew what I wanted. I don't want to go there. I want to go there. I remember one time I was on some jungle bars, and my uncle was like, "Come down from the jungle bars," and I looked at him like, "No, uncle, it's my life. No." I was that kind of child.
Oh, okay, you
But
were
I was
headstrong.
Yeah, I was headstrong. Yeah. Till today, my parents still say that. But I was a happy child, by and large.
Oh, this is nice.
Yeah.
This is absolutely nice. It's a gift of God. So,
Yes.
from your childhood, you got this exposure to moving in different countries, meeting with different people, picking up their culture, learning about their lifestyles and languages. And you met, I think you have had, if I ask you, can you define diversity and the effects for young people at moving and working in a diverse environment can have? Would you be able to comment? I think you will be the best person to ask. How does diversity help us?
How does diversity help us? First, it's important to understand what the true meaning of diversity is. It's not just seeing people of different shapes, colors, sizes. It's about also immersing yourself in their essence and understanding their background, understanding their cultures. It's normal to have a culture shock when you meet someone new, but understanding true diversity is the ability to see them for who they are, their experiences, and not just judging them face value, or not just allowing the stereotypes or the or just a prejudice to affect your understanding of who they are. So for young people that want to enter into this field of, you know, well, I'll just say diversity, it's important for you to understand that equality is important in this line of work, no matter where they are, no matter what the class is, the social structure that you feel that they're in. It's important to understand that we are all human and we are all equal. Before anything else, we're all created by God. It doesn't matter if you're what your religion is. It's just understanding that we all bleed the same color of blood. And so being able to immerse yourself in the other person's shoes and seeing them for who they are, understanding that they've gone through different things, different experiences, that's understanding true diversity.
Oh, that's lovely. I think I absolutely agree with you. People who love to talk about diverse culture, they need to be able to understand that there are going to be different things are going to be different from what they perceive a true picture should be like. And they often have that particular, the truth in every diversity, in every culture is different. So my definition of truth may not work in certain. So all the young people who want to go abroad and study and work in different multinationals, this is one, the tolerance and the high index of being emotionally intelligent and being human. I think these are the qualities that they need to work on. And you also have worked in a very volunteer positions. You have done a lot of volunteer work. How did that help you shape into making the NGO? How did it probably did lead in some way in helping you decide your make up your mind about opening up an NGO?
Okay, so I'll say, I think like my upbringing just made me understand the importance of volunteering. And volunteering does something to you because you're working not because you're getting paid. You're working because you feel like I'm passionate about this thing and I want to devote time and energy, not because anyone is watching me or not because I'm getting paid, but because this cause, I see that there is there's an importance behind it. And I volunteered with the Red Cross. I volunteered with, do you remember in Birmingham, the Birmingham fire? I volunteered with the fire service in Birmingham. So like in different levels, I do feel like it did lead me to starting Imani, but my love and the birth of Imani was from something deeper than that, actually. The birth of Imani was from my pain, because you did ask an interesting question, like, how was your childhood? And if I show you pictures of my childhood, it does look very nice and flashy, very, very colored and very glamorous. But, Imani, what Imani does is our focus is on adults and sexual reproductive health, gender-based violence, understanding sexual assaults. And so we go to different communities to educate people on this. And it was from my experiences as, growing up that birthed Imani. But volunteering in different capacities did help me understand that people do want to volunteer and people do want to devote their time to a cause that they feel is true. So now I open it up to a lot of people, and I never lack volunteers, because once I just put it out there, I kind of get like a lot of volunteers, and I'm like, okay, you're closer, so you come. But I will say, for like younger people, volunteering does do something to you, and it's not about who's looking at you. It's not about the money that you're getting, but just identifying a cause that you're passionate about. Put some time into it, whether it's teaching in a school or just going to the hospital, like, we have St. Jude's Hospital, just doing that. Volunteering, it's definitely something that is worthwhile.
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right. We can't actually put our finger on what it does to us, but there is a magic to it. I have
There
done
is.
volunteer work and I have thoroughly enjoyed it. And at times, honestly, through my volunteer work, I learned more than what my paid jobs could have taught me. So,
Right?
yeah, absolutely. So there is some connection between it, and there is something very noble about it. Even though you're not being paid, you are giving your time, you are spending money in terms of your petrol and car, and you're giving them time and you're giving them expertise. But something does happen, and
There's an inner
yeah,
gratitude that
yeah,
you
it's
feel
something.
yourself,
There's,
like
yeah,
an inner like sense of accomplishment. Like, yeah, I did that. I
I
did that.
yeah, yeah. And if somebody is smiling because you did something nice for them and you did, you spread that positive vibe and kindness somehow or the other, I think without any riches, you are a rich person. It gives you that sort of feeling.
Exactly. I
It
love
gives
that. Yes. Seeing a smile on someone's face that you made, well, not you made happy, but you added to that, you
yeah,
contributed to that.
yeah,
That alone is payments.
yes,
I'm like, I feel perfect. I'm like,
that's
yeah, I did that.
this is absolutely spot on. Actually, it's $1 million feeling, and nothing in the world can buy that sort of feeling of
Right?
money. Absolutely, absolutely. And
Hmm.
uh,
You're
uh,
right.
Mama, you have been very passionate about helping people out. You were doing when I was with you in Birmingham City University. You were doing it. You have traveled across the world. You have picked up on good projects. Is there any project that you have done up till now that were very closer to your heart and that really left a mark on you? Any paid
Um,
volunteer project in different countries that you have been to?
let me think about that one. Okay. Okay. I'll talk about Imani
All right,
because
sure.
today that is the one project, quote unquote, that is has been close to me. And so as a child, I had gone through rape for 3, 4 years by a cousin that lived with us in Switzerland. So my father was posted to, like I mentioned, a variety of countries, and he had decided to take his nephew along with him, just to help out the family and all that. But in that process, you know,
Yeah.
things happen. And so it just so happened that when I was 6, 6 and a half, it became like a routine that every night he would like sneak in and just first like strangle and like threaten me and do this and do that. And so that happened till I was like 9 years old. um it it it, it did something to me as I was growing up, because I would see younger people and I would see like my classmates or my age mates, and I'd be like, did that happen to that person too? Did this happen to that person too? And that's how I started. That's my need to want to help out. That's where that came from. I'm like, this happened to me, but the way our culture is here in Nigeria, it's a lot of it's a silent culture where
Mm,
you don't talk about a lot of things,
mm,
and that's part of what Imani is trying to break. We want to break that culture of silence, which has become the norm, unfortunately.
mm.
But I remember when I started Imani, I was ashamed and I didn't want Imani to be that, because I didn't want to be tagged as a rape victim. I wanted to be tagged as the happy Womiye that everybody knew with the glamorous life and all the traveling. That's what I wanted to be identified with.
Mm,
But along the way, I realized that that is who I am. I'm not a rape victim, but I'm a survivor.
mm,
I came out stronger,
mm,
from that experience. And the this is by the mere fact that I was able to change that narrative. And now when people see me, they're like, that's that girl. She went through that, but she came out stronger.
yeah,
It also shows other people that are still silent about their traumas that they're good, they're able to be stronger. Things are going to be okay.
yeah.
And so that's why till date, this Imani, that's one project that's close to my heart, because it's me, basically.
Oh,
It's me.
this is fantastic. The take that you have now on the traumatic experience that uh, that changed you in many ways. This is important. This positivity is important.
Mm,
And it
it
also,
is.
yeah, it is, I think the Me Too movement, which started a while ago, has also helped people understand that it is okay to talk about it. And now
Oh
there are
yeah,
laws, and there is protection that can take care of such people. And it's also important to point such people out, so that somebody else, some other people who can be saved from their treachery. So
definitely.
it is, yeah, it's
Definitely.
important. And I'm very happy that you are working on this particular project, and your organization is going to help people understand that there is support in the environment, and they can talk about it with someone who is going to help them. So let's talk about you just mentioned that this particular NGO is working in Nigeria only. Is that it?
Yes.
Are there certain cities
Yes.
in which it is operating, or is this it's one city?
Well, so far we've been in the northern part of Nigeria, and we've been working primarily for the past couple months in Lagos.
Mm.
But like last week, we just spread to the western part,
Mhm.
and I'm hopeful that we continue. At least we switch platforms to like a more virtual platform. However, there's a problem there because the audience my target audience are people in the grassroots communities that do not have access to the internet. So it's like, how do we reach those communities? At the same time, health and safety is paramount. I don't want to expose myself or my volunteers to, the corona that's happening in this pandemic. So that's like a little challenge. But so far, where we've done our first ever outreach was helping the internally displaced persons in the
Mhm.
northern part, people that were displaced by the extremist groups attacks that happened that started like 2011.
Mhm.
And we started by helping out roughly 1,500 internally displaced persons. We provided them, after a needs analysis, we provided them with slippers, toothbrushes, things that you wouldn't even think that they needed.
Yeah.
We went there and we saw that they didn't even have the basic things,
Mm.
and it was definitely interesting. So we started with that in the northern part, but then when I became bolder, I'm like, you know what? I actually want to help boys and girls that are unfortunately in my situation. I need to educate them on what is right and what is wrong, what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. Just ending and just killing that whole gender-based violence is so prevalent in our society. It
Yeah.
is thick. It is very thick. Now, if you look at what's happening in our society right now in Nigeria,
Mm.
the amount of rape cases that have come up in the past month, Liza, you will not believe it. And it's not just that people are being raped, but they're being raped and they're being murdered,
Oh.
literally. So while in the states in the western part, we're fighting the Black Lives Matter movement, we're fighting our own battle here because people here are also losing their lives.
Yeah.
And videos are surfacing with thick-headed people that are saying things like, oh, it's her fault. Why was she wearing that?
Mm.
Why was she there at that time of the night? And
Mm.
so, like, at the outreach that I had last week, I
Mm.
had a guy ask me, how can I prevent myself? He was a guy and he's like, how can I prevent myself from being raped? And I'm like,
Mm.
we just have to be careful because the victim is never the victim's fault. It's
Mm.
the psyche of the rapist. It's always the rapist's
Mm.
fault.
Mm.
We can't blame what you were wearing. We
Yeah.
can't, because if we want to say, oh, it's by virtue of what you're wearing.
Mm.
So the 3-year-old girl that was wearing her diapers, are you trying to say that it was a diaper that attracted? Was it the baby's
Mm.
fault?
Mm.
So we go around and we educate, and it's just so important that people understand from a young age that this is what's acceptable, this is not what's acceptable. Let's just breed a better generation of
Yeah.
children,
True.
basically.
True. Absolutely. I totally agree with you. It is very sad, and I don't know why people do it. But a guest yesterday on Talk Shock by Faiza said that this is another pandemic that the world is facing, this sexual assault, sexual
Mm.
abuse, domestic abuse.
Yeah,
This is another pandemic the
definitely.
whole world is facing, regardless of the religions, regardless of the demographics. This is happening all across the world, and there has to be some.
Hmm.
There are a lot of programs now. There are a lot of support in the system, but still, as you mentioned, the number is huge and it's shocking. It's absolutely baffling.
It's
One part,
shocking.
it's shocking. And yeah, I think it's a wonderful job that you and your team are doing. Yesterday I received a question for you. Somebody has asked that how easy it is to run an NGO. What are the challenges that an NGO, which is in the early stages of its establishment, faces in terms of money and the funding and donations?
Ah, got it. Oh, well, I'll be honest, I still face some challenges till today. But I feel like from the onset, from the birth of a nonprofit or an NGO idea, it's important that the passion behind it is as strong as cement.
I know.
The fire that fuels your the passion behind starting, it has to be there because once it dies out,
Hmm.
the structure just falls apart, I feel. Um, Once the passion is there and you find other people that align themselves with your cause,
Hmm.
things will be
Hmm.
like first of all, identifying your board members,
Hmm.
pinpointing people that you know that will share this passion with you and will put in as much or even more energy into this idea with you.
Hmm.
When we started, our funding was just solely individual
Hmm.
sponsorships. So if you want to sponsor, if you want to donate, then definitely it's always open. So every time I have an outreach, till today, I still open it up for donations. However, last year we started getting we got our first corporate sponsorship
Oh, that's
of
nice.
sorts, and that was exciting. I was like, yay! And then earlier this year, an individual sponsorship converted into a corporate sponsorship, and that was also exciting. So at least I know that yes, if we do have a program, we'll be all right. But it's about putting yourself out there and making yourself into a credible platform. Because unfortunately, there are a lot of people that take advantage of this platform
Hmm.
to cheat people out of money. But once you do your work
Hmm.
diligently and let the world know that yes, I am a credible organization. What I'm doing is pure of heart. I'm not, out here to scam anybody. Then that definitely makes it easier because people identify with you and people want to support you, and support is what you need.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'll just say do your work diligently, create a structure for yourself that works in your society. Not There's no one structure that is relative. I mean, that's universal. They're all relative. So
Hmm.
find a structure that works for you, for your society, and implement that. Identify people around you that align with you and work with them. Teamwork, great leadership, and you be on your way, I guess.
I think you're absolutely right. It is not easy to start such a thing, and of course, everything requires money. Vision is great, mission is great, but to run these things, you require money. And like you mentioned, there are people who are on board with the idea that you are trying to implement. It's wonderful. You need support of the people. And so,
You do.
did you get some help from the different networks that you have in form of friends and people that you have met in different countries that you have been to? Did you find support from there?
Oh, actually, yeah, definitely. Along the way, places that I've been to, people, even if it's not financial, just
Yeah, of course, of course.
encouragements, words of encouragement. So like I have like some of my friends that I grew up with in Switzerland that now they're in India or they're in Germany or they're still in Switzerland. They reach out to me. They're like, how can I support my sister's friend? My sister lives in Belgium. Her name is Funke. She's an artist. Her name is Unique Grace. She's a gospel artist. I just had a live with her last week, and her friend in Belgium, she's like, how can I help out? What can I do? And
Yeah.
I told her about our current project, which is about equipping young people with whistles, rape whistles. So just in case, yes, in case they need to ring an alarm to let people know that something is happening. We're trying to get rape whistles that are up to 120 decibels. That is loud enough so that when they're in danger, they can just blow on their whistle. They'll have it around their neck, blow on the whistle to alert people. So she's like, oh, I want to help out. How can I donate whistles? You know, she's in Belgium. I'm like, oh, wow, thank you. All the way from Europe. Yay.
Wow. This is actually
So keeping, so having that network and keeping that network is very, very essential, because you don't know where your support will come from.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So this is actually this is so tremendous. The energy that that oozing out of you when you're talking about it, the people who are supporting you, you're mentioning them, and there's such positive energy. So this is wonderful. I think this is a great achievement at your age. I'm sure your parents are absolutely proud of you, and the friends, and I'm so proud of you. And other people
Oh, thank you.
that's you. Yeah, it's a tremendous achievement that you are. Um, when we are young, we want to do fancy degrees, and we want to work in fancy environments and offices, and we have such high dreams. When we are children and we in early adolescence, we have high dreams of making money and having a fancy life. And look at you, that you had all those opportunities. You did work in certain organizations worldwide, but you decided that there is something that you need to do to make people's life easy in your own hometown.
Yeah.
It's very, very noble.
Yeah. It's good. It's good to have. I mean, one of my friends the other day said he believes I don't like money because if I like money, I'll be looking for. I'm like, I like money, obviously, but the thing is, you could be earning all the money in the world, but that happiness comes from inside,
Yeah.
So I just don't want to have any regrets at the end of the day. I want to be able to pursue this to the best I can. So at the end of the day, when I'm old and gray, I can look back and say, I did that. I can't, by God's grace, inshallah, I can change the world.
Inshallah.
But
we love to see you speaking that, inshallah, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's God.
Yeah, it's God.
I can't change the world, but I also know that I can't change everybody's lives. But even if there's just one person that you can help out today, you do that because you're changing that person's whole world. You're changing that person's universe, and that's what really matters.
Yeah. This is magnificent. Womiye, I'm absolutely proud of you. And you remind me of one of the Abraham Lincoln's saying I read some time back, and it has struck a chord in my heart, and it's uploaded on my Facebook cover photo as well. He says that in the end, it's not the years in your life that count. It is the life in your years that matter. So this is so poignant, and you're on the absolutely right track. You absolutely, you're making a difference in people's life, and in this age, you're trying, and inshallah, you will have a lot of support from a lot of people, and you are going to create a healthy environment, a positive environment for the people in your country, and probably a lot of people will join your hands. Inshallah, it's going to be a steady progress, but I'm hoping and praying for you that it materializes into a platform which is vibrant, very positive, and which is helping in shaping people's life in a better manner. So this is absolutely great. So Womiye, you have traveled and you have been to different countries and schools and universities. So you must have met wonderful people who some of them you can look up to, others you can call your mentors. So are there any people in your life who have been helping you blossom without judgment, who have been helping you become who you are right now?
Definitely. First of all, my parents. My dad, like I said at the start, like my dad, he made being the diplomat that he is, and just seeing how he was able to be so diplomatic in everything that he did, seeing how he was able to adjust and adapt to different scenarios, different situations, that alone, I got that right off the bat, that's second nature. And my mom, she's just so cheerful. I got my cheery nature from my
Oh,
mom.
this
My
is
mom can smile.
incredible. Oh, this is
My mom was sitting here blushing. She'd be
oh, this
like,
is
she's
nice.
just always smiling. And like even like my siblings, my sister, she's doing what she's doing with her music and spreading the word. And my younger sister, she volunteers everywhere. My younger sister, Dolly, she's like the the champion of volunteering. I don't know how she does it.
Oh, this is great.
I will say, and also I have a I have two best friends, and I will share that. One is a doctor. She just graduated clinical psychology, so now she's Dr. Yimi Omofuma, um, doing great things when it comes to mental health, and she's in San Antonio right now. And I have this other friend who is just the strongest person that you will ever see, Faiza. If you don't know her, her name is Kechi. And my best friend Kechi was in a plane crash in 2005. And there were 60 students in my school that boarded a flight. There were 61 students that boarded a flight, and she was the only student that survived. And today,
Oh,
she was the only student that survived, yes. There were 109 passengers on the plane, and 107 died, and 2 survived. So she was one of the 2 survivors. And today, she is such a strong voice. I look up to her every time. She lets me know that our traumas do not define us. She suffered 3rd-degree burns, 60% of her body. But she lets me know every day. Every time I feel weak or every time I'm sad, I just think of my best friend. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be okay. Like, she shows so much strength. She was on a show, America's Got Talent, and she talks about bullying and just how to be a greater person. I'm surrounded by great people. I mean, I met you in Birmingham, and you were like older than us, but I didn't even know you were so mature in class. Like, I thank God every day that I've been able to meet the people that I have met on my journey of life, because everybody has definitely played a significant role in shaping who I am, in making me better, in making me stronger. But I would say one of my career mentors, she was the Undersecretary General when it comes to sexual violence at the United Nations. Her name is Zainab Bangura. And she actually helps me form the thesis of my dissertation that I started.
This very kind
Yes,
of her.
she talked about how women in Africa, women and children, are seen as collateral damage in conflicts and in wars. And that shaped my thesis, which is the African woman's body, collateral damage in conflicts and wars. And so Imani, by doing what we're doing, I'm also, getting some data and researching and understanding in intercommunal conflicts, in domestic violence cases, just family conflicts. How are women treated? How are women seen? How, especially being an African woman, how are we seen? Because a lot of people don't know this, but back in the day, when they count the casualties of war, they actually only counted men. Women and children were not seen as casualties. We were seen as collateral damage. Yes. And so now, with the nuance in conflict analysis and resolution, especially a lot of feminine players in the field, they're saying, you gotta count us in. We're human, okay? We're not just collateral damage. We're human. And so Zainab Bangura is definitely something that I look up to when it comes to like my career, most definitely.
Oh, this is nice. I'm very happy that you're surrounded by such positive people. And through the journey you have had so far on earth, and inshallah, you're going to have a lot more years to go to. You, inshallah, will meet a lot of people who are going to be good support for you, who are going to play a significant role in the causes that you believe in, and who are going to, stick by your side, not because it's a cause, but because they will also be believing in it. It is, they can relate to it. So yeah, so it's like, inshallah, you're going to. I'm very happy that you met people who have contributed very positively to shaping you who you are. And I'm very, I think it's a moment where you thank God that He has made you see the calling that you actually had, and he made the ways for you, provided the path for you, and then helped you in so many ways. So this is wonderful.
Most definitely.
Now that
Most
you
definitely.
mentioned, yeah, you work in UN, and let's talk about it. What sort of experience it was? Because it is not very easy, or it's not every day that people can work and volunteer. Or you did probably a paid job there. Is that so?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
it's not
So
easy.
that was a couple of years ago, 2000 and I remember 2016. I was excited. I'm not gonna act like, oh, it was back then. It was a big deal. I was
It
very
was a
excited.
that's the right word. It's a big deal. People don't easily get into such organizations. So how did that
Yeah, and
happen?
I remember I had started my PhD in 2015, and then I got this offer in 2016. So
You were
I
in
took some
USA
time
at that
off.
time,
Yes, I was in New York.
in New York. Okay.
So I was in Florida actually do my PhD, and then when I got this offer, I took the year off, and I moved to New York where my family was,
Yeah.
and I worked as a policy advisor with the Nigerian permanent mission to the United Nations.
Hmm.
So I was allocated to the General Assembly desk,
Oh, really?
and being at the General Assembly desk was
Hmm.
literally every day being at the General Assembly representing Nigeria when my ambassador or deputy perm rep were not there. I would have to be the one sitting down in all the meetings, high level meetings or not. I'll just be there
Oh, this is
taking notes.
awesome.
But it was definitely an exciting experience because I got to meet, like, presidents and like dignitaries. And I
Absolutely.
also understood that, there's a way to dress when you're in certain places.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's it exposed me to the rawness of the things that happen
Hmm.
and how things evolve, how our policies evolve. And it also made me, I was very grateful and I was very proud actually being a Nigerian
Hmm.
because I saw that other African countries really looked up to us, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm Nigerian. But I
Sure, I'll
actually
feel the same if I get the opportunity to sit there. I'll feel the same. Yeah.
definitely
Oh, this is awesome. This is
deeper appreciation for where I'm from. And also I was also exposed to the fact that a lot of Nigerian, I don't know, a lot of African countries are fighting to become a part of the Security Council. There's so many things that we are not aware of, but African leaders are actually fighting for representation at the
awesome.
Security Council, representation, the revitalization of the General Assembly, for instance. It's just, I got to witness a lot of things, like, for example, when Ban Ki-moon left the security
Hmm.
as Secretary General, and Antonio Guterres, who is now the President Secretary General, I witnessed that. I was like, I was there.
Oh,
I
wow.
saw.
Oh, you were part of history.
I was part of history. I
Yeah.
had
Oh, this is glamorous. This
also
is a
when the
wow
ban
moment.
was lifted, when the Cuban embargo was lifted. I saw that happen. I saw the votes, go into process, and before it hit CNN, I heard it.
Oh,
Things
wow.
like that. They're actually very exciting. I'll be like, hey guys, guess what just happened today?
Oh, this is exciting.
So that was definitely, it was definitely a good time. But it also, on the flip side, made me know that every organization has its challenges,
Yeah,
um, and everyone's trying to do better.
yeah.
But I was very happy because I remember part of what birthed Imani was the fact that I didn't get into like a big organization. So I was like, you know what? These organizations don't want to hire me. I'm going to start mine.
Oh, wow.
And
Oh,
that
this
was
is
a
the
really
spirit.
start.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is the spirit. Yeah.
I was like,
I
I'll just
think
start
one
mine.
of the things that just came to me, that one of the things that you can do is start a wow story sharing platform through your this NGO, because you have had so many wow moments in your life, and I'm sure there are lots of people across the globe. If you start that, be it an Insta story or anything else, they would be very happy to share this wow moment story. I mean,
That's interesting.
yeah,
I never thought of that.
yeah, it would be an inspiration for a lot of people who travel, or even if
Mm-hmm.
they don't travel, they're still if living in a same country, and
Mm-hmm.
doing so many wow things. It's incredible. A lot of people you have met and I've met during my stay on earth, they have had very incredible journey and nobody knows about it.
Definitely. Oh yeah, definitely.
Nobody knows about it. So this is
That's what you're doing. You're doing that. You started that with this platform. Come on, talk shop and fight. This is it. I'm
yeah,
speaking to the maestro behind it.
absolutely, absolutely. This absolutely it's a concept. It actually, now that you have mentioned, it was inspired by an author here in Pakistan, which is very celebrated. His name is Ishfaq Ahmed. He used to have a program in Pakistan known as Zavia, and where he would talk about a lot of things, spiritual things, general knowledge things. But he has huge following, and his programs from YouTube. And actually, I saw his YouTube program when I was in UK. All my
Oh.
life, I lived in Pakistan. I never read anything about him or nothing. And when I went to UK, somebody introduced it, or he said, "Oh, you know
Wow.
Ishfaq Ahmed, and you should watch Zavia." And then I watched a few clips over there, and for a very long time, I've been wanting to do it, but this work from home opportunity has presented me with the idea of
Mm,
now managing my time very smartly. So this is
I
how
love that.
the talk shop by Faiza, and that's why it says talk shop. It's not an interview.
Mm,
It's not.
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a discussion. It's just,
It's actually giving a new form to storytelling, that through
mm,
storytelling we can inspire other people, because our stories are
definitely.
realistic, they are unscripted. There is no script that we have in front of us, and this is extempore, spontaneous, and we are sharing what we have felt, we have done in life. So this is pretty much closer to being as authentic as we can be. So yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. So thank you for liking the idea. Thank you.
Of course, of course, of course. It's with platforms like yours that I can also, like, send my message.
Yeah,
I could let people know, especially, okay, let me just do that now. So if you're listening to this or you're watching this and you just happen to be a victim of unfortunate circumstances, I just want you to know that it is okay.
yeah.
You are okay. You're not damaged, because I feel like a lot of survivors tend to um, tag themselves as damaged. And I'm
Because
saying this
they
from
are
a personal.
subjugated. Yes, because they're subjugated to
Exactly.
that treatment. They're never,
Exactly.
yeah, they're never told that it's okay. There's a bigger life to it.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
So I want you to know that it's okay. You're not worthless in any way. You're not damaged in any way. Those were the words that I used to tell myself. Even in Birmingham, I used to tell myself this.
yeah,
And I would go cry. But it's okay to cry. But just know that
yeah,
you are not your trauma, and you are not defined by your past. It's
yeah,
your ability to rise above
yeah,
it that will help you out, and talk to people around you,
yeah.
because staying silent does something to your mind. So
Absolutely,
also talk to people about it, and you will definitely be okay. If it's seeing a
absolutely.
counselor, or talking to your parents, or talking to a trusted friend, the power of a support system
Yeah,
breaks everything.
it's
Being having my
absolutely right.
sisters and my family and my friends definitely helped me. So
Yeah.
you should
You
do
are
that
braver and
too.
you're stronger because of the people support around you. So this is a very
Yes,
important message that you have given, and I'm thankful to you that you have talked about it so openly. And I'm sure it's, it just occurred to me. You must have volunteer opportunities with NGO, your NGO right now.
oh definitely, yes,
Yeah, so could
yes.
there be, if you can think about it, if it makes any sense, could there be volunteer opportunities with your organization? Could that
Yes,
make sense?
we're actually trying to migrate into, we're supposed to have a meeting today, actually, later today,
Okay.
which we're going to discuss how to migrate to a virtual platform where we can talk about it, like, have children or younger people. It
Hmm.
doesn't really matter what
Age doesn't
social
matter.
class
Yeah, yeah,
it really doesn't matter.
yeah,
Just having that awareness,
yeah.
so different
Conversation is
topics.
important. We have starting the
Exactly, talking
conversation is
about it.
important. Yeah, yeah.
So as a victim, we will be able to talk with people
Hmm.
as a witness. Also, it's important because I had a friend who said when he was in college, somebody told him that she was raped, but he didn't know how to handle it. And that's a very normal thing. You don't know how to handle news like that. Like, I don't
Hmm.
know how my family handled it, but it's a hard thing. So we're also trying to see how we can educate people. If
Hmm.
you've been told, if this
Hmm.
happened to you,
Hmm.
if you went through this and this is what you can do. And also have classes for younger people so that it's not just in Nigeria where you have to go, but also in Pakistan. We can train some younger people in Pakistan that, this
There could
is
be,
how you can.
behavior psychologists who could, come online and talk to these people from Pakistan. There
Exactly.
could
We
be
could
other people. Yeah,
facilitate that.
there's so many NGOs here. There are so many platforms that are working
Mm,
here in Pakistan, so they can, do online sessions, pro bono online sessions, and they help your organization or people. So I think think about it, and if you come up with that sort
definitely.
of thing, do let
I'll
me
let you,
know. I'll
yes.
yeah, we would like to do volunteer with whatever we can.
Shukran for that.
That's lovely. That's absolutely lovely. Absolutely. Okay, so my next question to you is that you are, mashallah, so inspired by a lot of things. There are a lot of people around you. There are a lot of things that you do who inspire you, and you have been mentoring a lot of young people for this venture of yours, NGO venture of yours. So, how do you how do you how would you say what would you say the energy of the people that you're working with? Would you like to make a comment on that? Since they are related to your cause, they are helping you out. What sort of energy do you see in the people that are working with you voluntarily for this particular project?
Oh, well, I will say people gravitate towards you for different reasons. You don't know why. Can be an interest or a passion or God. But I just know that as a human being, you exude certain energy that people are attracted to.
Mm,
And that energy, whatever energy it is that I give out, I feel like mixed with their energy it's explosive and it's positive. They encourage me, I encourage them. We talk about not just, Imani, but we talk about different things. So it's definitely a very positive, encouraging human energy that I just absolutely love.
mm,
Like sometimes, it's not every time that I'm up and cheery, obviously.
mm,
Sometimes I'm very, very down and
mm.
anxiety gets the better part of me.
Yeah.
And they're there to help me and pick me up. And they're like, what's wrong? What is it?
Mm, mm,
Today, so my friend Rob, he was like, what's wrong? You
mm,
don't really see.
mm,
But yeah, having those people around you and having those people around me, I'm definitely grateful to God for that. But I will say it's, as a person, I feel like it's, you get what you give out.
yeah, true.
Yeah,
100%.
definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
it's very encouraging. And I thank God for all of them that are,
Yeah.
in my life. My flatmates, Budson,
Yeah.
my friends here that I've made in Lagos.
Yeah.
They've been awesome because I came here and I started making friends all over again. And
Yeah.
they've all been a part of my story. And I love that. Yeah.
I'm absolutely glad you have found your calling and you're very happy doing what you're doing. And it is the most important part that this is also one lesson that youngsters can derive from your story, that it's important to be happy. It's not always
Yes.
important to be rich. Riches sometimes cannot help you buy a few things. And that is,
I like that quote
yeah,
that you,
yeah,
that was, I like that
absolutely.
quote that you
You
gave.
cannot
I love that.
buy the energy of people, selfless energy of people with money. I can't buy it. I don't know about others. I can't buy it.
And money is good. Money is good.
Yeah,
But at
money
the
is
end of the day,
important.
is it going to make you truly happy?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So this is a very important message that you are giving out to people. And I am telling you that you have a wow story to tell, and you should think about the idea I've just floated. I think, yeah, yeah. So you have a very wow story to tell, and I think you should invite a lot of other people who have very wow stories, who don't have a platform
Mm.
or do not have the courage to, even write correctly, or yeah, yeah. So the
I
voice,
will say this, Faiza.
yeah.
I forgot to mention, I actually have a podcast.
Oh, you do?
Um, yes, I do.
Oh,
I
that's
actually have a podcast. It's
oh,
called My Life and Yours. And it's
okay.
literally a platform where I share my stories and people also. I just had my first guest a couple weeks ago,
Okay.
but I'm trying to also
Lovely.
encourage other people,
This is
you know,
important.
yeah.
Yeah, this is very, very important because yeah, not a lot of people are comfortable with video mode. There are a lot of people who are very comfortable with anonymous mode. They will so podcasting
Want
is
to be anonymous?
yeah, yeah. Podcasting is brilliant, brilliant, wonderful, and
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I would love to hear it. Are you uploading it on YouTube or Insta?
No, it's on a platform called Anchor. So
Okay.
I'll send you the link. Maybe you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
click
yeah,
the link
yeah,
on
yeah.
the
Why
video.
not? Why not? Absolutely. Why not? Well, my next, I've actually received a question on my WhatsApp. Somebody has asked me that if they volunteer, do they get some sort of certificate at the end of volunteer or internships? Are there virtual internships available as well?
Okay, we haven't started virtual internships, just volunteers. But and yes, they do get a certificate of appreciation for spending their time with Imani Help Foundation. And
Okay.
I know that like institutions and colleges, sometimes they want that like for credit, but we give everyone the volunteers a
Mm,
certificate. Everyone that donates as well, we give them, a receipt,
mm.
an acknowledgement.
Yeah.
But yes,
Yeah.
all our volunteers, every time they always get something. They
Yeah.
always get a certificate,
This
yes.
person has also asked that are there any credit hours that you are we are supposed to put in? Are there any fixed hours that we are supposed to put in?
No, for volunteers, no. I do, well, we just started recruiting and we filled, I think there's just like one position left. But for them, we don't really require much weekly. We just ask for like maybe 10 to 12 hours
Okay.
weekly.
Yeah.
Yes, but that's if you're like recruited
Yeah.
as like an official,
As a
like a
volunteer,
program
yes,
manager
yes.
or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. But for volunteers, for events and outreaches, no, we don't require anything from you. It's up to you. If you have our time, then give it to me. But I'm
Absolutely.
not. There's no requirement.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely. And I don't think you require any degree requirement as well. Anybody could be volunteer.
Oh
Any age group can be
no,
volunteer.
no.
Absolutely. And
Well, I would say for age, there is like an age restriction,
okay.
especially
Just let
here.
me know if I can
So
volunteer.
I usually. No, you're
A
fine.
person who is
But it's
above 40, can he volunteer? He or she volunteer? Just let me know if I
advice. Come on.
yeah.
But there's definitely. I think the youngest person that I've had volunteer just turned 14, and she's the
Oh,
youngest I've
nice.
had
This is nice.
volunteer. Yes, and she was interested. She was like, I want to talk because we're talking to her age groups,
Yeah.
and she's
Yeah.
like, I want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
definitely open to
I've just
people
received a
as
question
long
here
as
on
you're
Zoom
mature.
as well. It's Musa Imran. He has asked the same question, that can we join your organization virtually for volunteer work? I think you have given the response on that. Just let me know how can people apply. And when I upload the video on Facebook, I'll write the link on which they can send
On the website.
their expression of interest,
Thank you.
so that yeah. And also I
Thank
will,
you, Musa, for your question.
yeah, yeah. So this was Fatma who sent a message to me on WhatsApp. You answered
Okay.
the same thing. Yeah, that will they get the certificate of recognition and all that? She sent the question.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, yeah. So Womi, the time to my program is ending, and there is a lot that I still want to ask you. But just any parting message that you would want to give the youth that is watching you. Is there any parting message that you want to give to them?
Um, yeah, well, for younger people, I would say something that I didn't have growing up was a mentorship. And I can't hammer enough on the importance of mentorship. I think it's important for us to expose ourselves to things that people have done
Mm.
and see how they have gotten to where they are.
Mm.
And see if that, if we can align ourselves with that. I'm not saying, copy somebody else's journey, but I'm saying it's good to read and expose yourself to
Mm.
how people have gotten to where they are. So like, for instance, I think I was 23 when I first heard of Zainab Bangura, and not a lot of people know her, but
Mm.
I aligned with
Mm.
what she was doing. And I was like, how did she get there? What did she do? Oh, she has a PhD. Oh, okay, she did that. And that formed an understanding of how I should proceed.
Mm.
Because sometimes after school, you get the blunts and you're like, okay, what next? How do I do this? So part of what like we do like for Imani is we talk to them and we try to link them up with other people in like engineering fields or architects or whatever. So it's important to have a mentor.
Okay.
I can't hammer enough on that. Just have a mentor and see how you can create an understanding of your path.
Oh, this is great. I think you have spelled it out very well, and I couldn't have used, better words than you. That is so important to have some rock in your life that you can bank upon, that a shoulder that you can cry on, and people who are absolutely non-judgmental, who will not judge you for anything, and people who are going to nurture your talents and skills, and they're not going to, they are going to be mentor. They're not going to, hold your fingers and take you around. They're going to be mentors. So this is very
Definitely.
important. And I will add to this particular thing that, whatever capacities all of us are working in around the world, let's try and, plant the seed of hopes, plant a seed of happiness and love.
Yeah,
And trust me, it all comes back in abundance, because this is
it
what
does.
the law of nature is.
Mm, mm.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for me. It's lovely catching
Thank
up with you. I wish
thank
you
you.
more power, more success with whatever you are doing. And I
Amen.
definitely am going to volunteer, regardless of my age. I'm going to volunteer.
Duh.
Thank you
Thank
so
you so much
much. Stay
for having
blessed.
me and for inviting me
Thank
on
you.
your beautiful
Thank you. No, no, no. It was an inspirational story. At your age, trying to, having this particular, which is important for me, at your age, having this particular capacity and mission and passion to inspire other people to be more happy about the life they have, despite whatever circumstances they have gone through. I think this is one of the most important things our youth should be doing. We need a lot of this particular spirit. And I think if I could play, I would have played, that Michael Jackson song, Heal the World. I think that
Oh,
is one song is a very, very favorite. And this pandemic has, made us, all of us realize that human life is important. Human life is
definitely.
important. And we need to respect everyone's shortcoming and their talents, and we need to accept it. So this is a
Mhm.
very important message which pandemic is giving to people. And I think a lot of people are now easily relating to this particular message, that we all are
Mm.
humans, we have limitations. There is a greater design, there is a divinity above, which is almighty. And yeah, we need to surrender to that particular thing. So thank you so
Yes.
much. It was absolutely lovely. Thank you.
Thank you, Faisal.
Thank you. Okay. See you. Sure. Bye bye.
Bye.